the NATO bombing of Yugoslavia, the invasion of Iraq by the US-led coalition, and NATO's military operation for regime change in Libya all ended in tragedy. Today, Israel's illegal use of force against the Palestinians and aggressive actions against Iran, Qatar, Yemen, Lebanon, Syria, and Iraq threaten to blow up the entire Middle East. Russia firmly condemned the attack by Hamas militants on Israeli civilians on the 7th of October 2023. However, there is no justification for the brutal killings of the civilian population of Palestine or for terrorist attacks. There is also no justification for the collective punishment of Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, where Palestinian children are dying from bombing and starvation. Hospitals and schools are being destroyed, and hundreds of thousands of people are being left without shelter. There is no justification for plans to annex the West Bank. We are essentially dealing with an attempt at a kind of coup d'etat aimed at burying UN decisions on the creation of a Palestinian state. Recently, a number of Western governments announced their recognition of the state of Palestine. Moreover, they announced their intention to do so several months ago. The question then arises, why did they wait so long? It seems that they had hoped that soon, by the time the General Assembly session was convened, there would be nothing and no one left to recognize. The situation requires urgent action to prevent such a scenario, which was strongly advocated by the participants at the high-level international conference on Palestine. The strikes on Iranian facilities under IAEA safeguards deserve condemnation, as do the strikes on the capital of Qatar at a time when negotiations with Hamas were being held there with the participation of American mediators, among others. Yesterday, in the Security Council, the West rejected a rational proposal by China and Russia to extend the 2015 agreement on Iran's nuclear program in order to allow time for diplomacy. This has finally exposed the West's policy of sabotaging the pursuit of constructive solutions in the UN Security Council and its desire to extract unilateral concessions from Tehran through blackmail and pressure. We consider such a policy to be unacceptable and consider all manipulations to restore anti-Iranian UN sanctions as well as the sanctions themselves to be illegal. The West is not accustomed to observing the principle of non-interference in internal affairs. The color revolutions have become a sad phenomenon of our time, and illegal unilateral sanctions have long since become the main tool of Western diplomacy. No matter what excuses are used to justify them, the essence of such sanctions is the same: to suppress and intimidate competitors in the global economy and politics. Russia, together with an absolute majority of UN members, calls for the immediate lifting without prior conditions of the trade blockade against Cuba, which has been in place for more than 60 years, and for it to be removed from the notorious list of state sponsors of terrorism. We express our solidarity with the people of Venezuela in the face of external sanctions pressure and threats. We advocate for Latin America and the Caribbean to remain a zone of peace and cooperation. A flagrant example of the undermining of sovereignty and gross interference in internal affairs is the actions of the West in the Balkans, where such a fundamental principle as the need for all UN members to comply with Security Council decisions is being violated.